Everyone talks about moving to Hartford, Waterbury, Bridgeport when you're thinking of moving to Connecticut. But the smartest buyers in 2026, they are looking just outside of those areas. Today, I'm showing you 3 small towns in Connecticut that are quietly becoming the best places to live, invest, and plant your roots. And if you wait too long, you're going to miss the window. I talk to people relocating to Connecticut every single week, and more of them are not choosing downtown Hartford, Bridgeport, or Waterbury for their lifestyle. They're choosing space, they're choosing fit, and a shift that changes everything. Now, before we jump in, I want to be clear, this is not a ranking video. I'm not crowning a winner. Each of these towns attracts a completely different buyer and a completely different lifestyle. My goal is simple: show you what each of these areas is like so you can decide. Because this is where most people misjudge and make a wrong move. They Google a city name, they see a pretty house on Zillow, they fall in love with the home, and they completely miss the surrounding towns that offered better value, better quality of life, and a better long-term investment. So let's slow this down and do it the right way. We're talking about Kent and Washington Depot. That's an awesome area. We're going to talk about West Hartford. And lastly, we're going to talk about Branford. 3 different lifestyles, 3 different vibes, 3 very different buyers. Let's start with the one that surprises people the most: Kent and Washington Depot. Most people overlook this area completely when they're searching in Connecticut, and that is their first mistake. Kent and Washington Depot sit up in Litchfield County, northwest of Hartford. Real drive time, about 50 to 60 minutes to Hartford, depending on where you land. About 90 minutes to Bradley Airport. It's not exactly next door, and that's the point. This area feels like you're stepping into a postcard. Rolling hills, stone walls, covered bridges, real New England charm. If you've ever watched Gilmore Girls and thought, I want that small town America vibe, it's literally what inspired it. Washington Depot was the creative inspiration behind Stars Hollow. This is the most Connecticut feeling Connecticut that you can get. Life here is slower, it's quieter, it's more intentional. People move here when they are done with traffic. They are done with congestion. They are done with overdevelopment. And here's something most buyers don't expect. In 2025, moving into 2026, Litchfield County has seen a steady demand of out-of-state buyers looking for second homes that offer remote work retreats. Inventory remains very tight. Median sales prices in Kent and Washington Depot frequently push past the Connecticut statewide median, which hovers right about $380,000. In these towns, you're looking at $500,000 to $900,000, depending on the acreage, depending on the condition. This is not bargain hunting territory. It is lifestyle investment. Now, here's the trade-off. You are driving for major shopping. You're not going to walk into a Target or a Costco up in this area. You are trading convenience for peace. There are great local shops, however. Here's what most people don't know: Lake Warramog. If you're looking in this area and you're not asking about access, proximity, seasonal restrictions around Lake Warramog, you're missing one of the biggest lifestyle assets in Northwest Connecticut. It's one of the cleanest, most natural lakes in the state. Properties near Lake Warramog carry a serious premium. Properties on the lake could sell for several million. Vacant lots could be $1 million. In this area, we also have the Mayflower Inn. If you've never seen it, it is luxury New England done right. It attracts a certain type of buyer and elevates the whole area's long-term desirability. When people ask me, is Kent too far from Hartford? My answer is always the same. It's only too far if you need Hartford every single day. If you're remote, if you commute occasionally, if you value land, privacy, quiet over proximity to a mall, this might already be your town. Here's where local guidance matters. There are sections of these towns with conservation restrictions, wetland limitations, historic overlays, private road maintenance agreements, and that is all stuff that Zillow absolutely does not know and doesn't explain. Those little details, they affect value, they affect financing, long-term resales. My team navigates that every single week with buyers relocating here, and those nuances are the difference between a great purchase and a frustrating one. That perspective changes everything. Now let's shift from quiet countryside to something completely different. West Hartford. If Kent and Washington Depot are peace and simplicity, West Hartford is growth without the chaos. West Hartford sits directly west to Hartford. Real drive time, only about 10 minutes to downtown Hartford. Go catch a Yard Goats game. 25 minutes to Bradley Airport. West Farms Mall is directly next door. And the great thing, you have a Whole Foods here. In West Hartford, you also get Blueback Square, which is a great area with awesome shops and restaurants. This is one of the easiest lifestyle transitions in the region. West Hartford attracts first-time buyers, young professionals, people looking to upgrade their lifestyle, people who want to downsize and get a walkable community. And here's something people always underestimate: the restaurant scene. For a town its size, West Hartford punches in way above its weight class. Blueback Square alone has a concentration of great restaurants, boutique shops, fitness studios, nightlife that actually rivals some of Connecticut's larger cities. You can get upscale dining to casual patios, and you can live here genuinely and not feel like you're missing out on the urban energy. Median home prices in West Hartford often sit above the state average. They're coming in right now in the 450 to 600 range on average, well above the 380 that we mentioned earlier for Connecticut. Inventory also remains very competitive. Multiple offers are still very common. Move-in ready homes under 600 don't come along very often. And here's a little insight most buyers don't expect. West Hartford has a wide range of property tax variances depending on the neighborhoods and the assessed value. Two homes on the same street can have noticeably different effective tax burdens based on the assessment cycles and also on the improvements. That's not something most relocation videos talk about, but it matters. You have to figure this in when you're budgeting. Another thing buyers don't expect: school boundaries shift demand fast. Micro neighborhoods around certain elementary schools can carry premium pricing. That's not random. That is behavioral economics in real time. This town is all about convenience, community, growth, strong resale stability, and yes, traffic has increased over the years, but it's predictable traffic. It's not gridlocked. There are back routes and neighborhood connectors that locals use to avoid all that peak congestion. And those are just the small things that make daily life smoother, with the kind of insights that my team brings for buyers who are looking to relocate to the area and figure out your routine before you even move in. Now, quick pause. If you're watching and think, okay, this is helpful, but I have specific questions about commute times, pricing, schools, timing the market. Remember, I'm only covering 3 towns today. There are dozens of micro markets around Hartford, and every one of them behaves differently. So whether you're moving next month or planning 5 years out, reach out to my team and let's build a game plan for your timeline so you're not guessing. Next up, let's head to the shoreline. Nothing beats the Connecticut shore. Branford, Connecticut. This is where small town charm meets coastal energy. Branford sits southwest of Hartford, about 45 minutes depending on traffic. It's right along Long Island Sound, and this one doesn't get talked about enough. Branford gives you water access without Greenwich or Fairfield pricing. It attracts buyers upgrading from inland towns, people priced out of higher shoreline communities, and families who want balance, not rural isolation, not urban congestion. And here's what surprises most people about Branford: flood zones. If you're looking anywhere near the water, you are going to get a FEMA map and figure out if it's in a flood zone. You're going to need to talk to your insurance broker and get some elevation certificates, see if there's insurance implications. Two houses a block apart can have completely different insurance requirements, and that affects monthly costs and long term appreciation. It's not dramatic, it's real. Another under the radar insight: Branford has multiple train access points via the shoreline east and proximity to New Haven's Metro North. These give you the option to commute to New York City without living in Fairfield. These are great options, and it's something you have to know because flexibility is a huge long term value play. Median pricing in Branford typically lands in the 4 to 600,000 range, with waterfront properties putting a 2 to 3x on that. Inventory can fluctuate seasonally, especially in the shoreline market, but the lifestyle here: you have beaches, boating, seafood restaurants, walkable town greens, strong local pride. This is balance. You're close enough to New Haven for culture and dining, or you're close to Hartford for your work commute or to catch a Huskies game or a Yard Goats game, but you wake up near the water. And that's a different kind of morning. Here's the real takeaway: Kent and Washington Depot are not competing with West Hartford. West Hartford is not competing with Branford. They're all different lifestyles. Kent and Washington Depot are going to be peace, space, classic New England charm, a Gilmore Girls setting. West Hartford is growth, walkability, restaurants, stability, Whole Foods. Branford is for balance, shoreline living, long-term desirability, and commuter flexibility. The biggest mistakes buyers make are asking which town is best. The smart question is, which town fits how you want to live? That's how you protect your investment. That's how you avoid regret. And that's how you make a move that still feels right 5 years from now, 10 years from now, or 15 years from now. If you found this video helpful, check out my other video on the pros and cons of living in Hartford so you can layer this in with city insight and make the most informed decision possible when it comes to moving to Connecticut and living in Connecticut.